Oh, good morning. Sorry, I'm just setting everything up. Welcome to my first chat. Good morning, Teresa. Delicious. Thank you as well for joining me. Tracy as well. Thank you. I've got this and that with Matt. Good morning to you as well. I'm just going to give it a few minutes for people to log on, but thank you all for joining me. As you can probably see, it's a typical summer's day here in England. Wind and rain. Oh, Sharon the ferryman. Good day back to you too. Hope everything's well. Now, apparently, I'm going to need a few moderators. This is the first time I've done this. So some of my long old friends, if you don't mind, I'd like to put you down as a moderator so you can help me monitor the chat. I hope that's okay with everybody. I've got now Toten joining me. Hi there, Toten. Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Okay, so Delicious, my old friend. I'm going to add you as a standard moderator. That's if you don't mind. And same with Tracy. You don't have to do anything. It's just, I've been told I need a few moderators keeping the eye on the chat for me. So hopefully you guys don't mind. I've got NJ Nixon. Greetings back to you. Nice for you to see you. Thanks for joining. I'm still finding my way around, so please bear with me. Apparently I now have 2, 6, 8 with me in the room. Thank you all for joining me. Can everybody hear me okay? Is the speaker working? Somebody just type a quick message to let me know you can hear me. Thank you. So, NJ Maxton. What does the NJ stand for, if you don't mind me asking? Thanks also, Tracy. It's good to know that people can at least hear me. Thank you, Teresa. Same, likewise. I've got a new light and a new microphone, as you can imagine, so I don't know if it's working till you guys let me know. Nicholas James, thank you. Toten, Thank you. Just came from your countryside cottage. Took an early train just to join me. Thank you very much. I have actually put a slight delay on everyone's comments because this is my first live stream. I've put a 5-second delay, so you might notice a slight delay before your message pops up. That's just to help me, if you don't mind. Oh, Christine, you finally made it. Thank you for joining. Okay. Says here I now have nine viewers currently. So I'll just give a few more moments if you don't mind. See who else can join us. Thank you, Christine. I'm glad that you're here too. Not today, Toten, but they are there for a reason. I'm going to show you what I've got planned over the next few weeks to give you a little bit of a taste of what's coming. Or maybe while we're here today, you guys can have a little bit of vote between you and decide which one you want to see me do next. I hope everybody's having a nice Sunday. It's very strange. Sunday here in the UK is nearly finished. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. It's winding down, but I know for a lot of you, it's early in the morning. Thank you, Teresa. It's an old T-shirt. It's one of my first little merch logos. And the mug. There's one or two other mugs out there. I'll give them away for giveaways. I think there's probably about 3 others somewhere around the world now. This one is the 4th. So when I have some more giveaways, perhaps when I reach 2,000 subscribers, I'll have another giveaway and include another mug. So then there'll be another one out there. This and that with Matt. Nice sunny Sunday morning. That's good. Tracy, 9:30 in the morning. The best part of Sunday morning. Nice and early. Christine, yes, London. Very same. A typical summer Sunday. Cloudy. That's Tracy. That's right. Magnum does have one of my mugs. He was the one of the first people to win one on when I very, very early started the channel. And Mark Swisher. I'm sure you know Mark Swisher. He also won another one as well. Sharon. Is it Sharon the Ferryman? Am I saying your name correctly, Sharon? I know you're in Australia. Okay. So I've currently got 12 12 in the room. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining me. I thought I was going to be sitting here all on my own. That would have been funny. So Australia, Sharon the Ferryman. Is it exactly 12 hours behind or in front of the UK? Is it now around about 3 o'clock in the morning in Australia? Scotland, NJ Maxton, thank you. I didn't realise you was a proud Scotsman, but raining, not surprised. Okay. I hope everyone's joining me for a coffee. I hope you've all got a coffee. Okay. Speaking of coffee, I don't know if everybody here saw my little quiz I posted yesterday. I had a load of spare fuel tabs and matches, and I thought it'd be fun just to test a few of you guys. Did anybody guess which coffee I was actually drinking at the end in those brown bags? Not very easy to tell. Not to worry, Christine. You can always go and have a look later. Costa. No, Toten. I wish that was Costa coffee. It was not as good as that. It came out of a ration. I've not tasted any ration coffees that taste like they come from Costa. Okay, perhaps I should leave it a little bit longer, let a few more join us, and then I'll give the game away. Right. No, Toten. The brand wasn't a famous one. It's not a well-known brand. Ration coffees rarely are. Sometimes they put Nescafes in, don't they? Or occasionally Kenko. I've seen Kenko in some of the British rations, but they're usually some sort of nondescript brand. The French are pretty good. I don't know if that's a brand that you can get in France, but I do like the French ration coffees. I've still got to try an Australian. I do have an Australian ration that was extremely expensive. I bought it about 3 years ago. And I just don't want to use it because it's so rare and hard to get hold of over here in the UK. So I'm still waiting to try the Australian coffee. So Teresa, Bill's Brew or 3-in-1? No, it wasn't Bill's Brew. Scott, thank you for joining. Nice to see you. Christine, yes. their coffee mixed with their chocolate does make a nice mocha. Oh, it's a typical, definitely. It's a typical Sunday here. I don't know if you can hear noise in the background, but I have neighbours doing some work outside. I have my wife in the other room doing some cleaning. I can hear her. Hopefully the microphone can't pick them up. Sharon the ferryman. No. I suppose over there the Australian rations are relatively cheap. I've just bought some British, well, recently bought some British ORPs, 24 hours. It cost around about, with delivery, £120, but they are 24-hour rations and it was a case of 10. So there's over 30 meals in there. So I don't think that's too bad. But Australian ones, I paid over £100 to get one Australian ration imported. Way back in my early days. I can't do that anymore. Thank you, Christine. It's nice to know you can't pick up the background. Like I say, I've got some new equipment for this, so it's good that the microphone's picking me clearly, but it's ignoring the background a little bit. And Tracy, thank you as well. Toten, bought a Costa for your girlfriend, told you it's delicious. Tea drinker only. I'm lazy. Tea takes too long to make. I like instant coffee just for quickness. Christine, exactly the same. I think I've got 2 cases of British ORPs, and 2 cases now of the US, a case A and a B. But unfortunately, the US don't change rations very often. So I've reviewed nearly all of them now. So the US rations I've got, I just take out camping on a trip. Teresa, that's a shame. Are you based in the US? I hear customs in the US are being pretty aggressive at the minute, ripping open packages and taking out all the mains. So turn some of the little micro countries. They're very hard to get. I do try and vary. I try and get as many different countries as I can, and not do too many of one countries in a row. But they do seem at the minute to be really hard to get. Christine, wonder if I try and get flagged once they realise you're trying to import MREs. I think they do, Christine. I think they've got a list. I think if you've been caught once importing something you're not supposed to, then next time they're more suspicious of anything addressed to you. Morning, Mark. Thank you for joining me. We were just talking about you being one of the few lucky people that own one of my mugs out there. Yeah, that's right. I think the American customs are being very funny with any meat imports, which from the UK, we probably know we're not a fan of chlorinated chicken. So I find it funny that they'd stop British meat. Obviously, we had that mad cow disease many years ago, BSE, but that's long gone now. That might explain a lot, actually. That might explain why I'm as mad as I am. Maybe I ate too much beef back then. Thank you, Mark. Just read your message. Snap. Yes, Christine. She's only in earshot, so I better be careful. Yes. I think I married one, and then I became one eating too much beef. I'm in trouble now because I know she's listening. Okay. Well, I'm looking at my stream counter. So I currently have 14 viewers. I'd like to thank you all for joining me still. I much appreciate it. My first one is always worrying. You don't know if you're going to be here on your own, and it's nice to have 14 current viewers here. And I think looking down the list, most of you probably know each other also, which is also nice. Nice little community we have here. Okay. Well, I'm going to put out your misery. If anyone saw my quick video yesterday, I put a little quiz out there. What coffee was I drinking? It was actually a British Army ration coffee, but not from an ORP. ORPs tend to be Dow Egberts, Nescafes, and branded coffees. Those ones are at the United Nations peacekeeping ones. Russell, hi. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you made it. You did. Russell, you did. You did get it right. That makes me wonder if you have actually got some. Was there a bit of cheating going on there? I thought so. Especially when you mentioned they're made in China. That gave it away a little bit. In this day and age, I can't believe the British Army are still importing rations from China. You just never know what they're putting in them, do you? For the army. So, Mark, you use a VPN. It's a good idea, Christine. I know over the past I've shipped a couple to winners of contests, like Magnum, Multi Magnum. He's had a couple. Oh, Max, the coffees in China, the British ORPs and United Nations. A lot of the contents of the United Nations rations British soldiers use are actually made in China. They never used to be. I've noticed it's mainly the United Nations peacekeeping ones. They do a variety. I'm sure you know the British are quite diverse. they use the standard ORPs, and then they have Hindu variants, Sikh variants. They also have different ones for United Nations use. Obviously, they're coming in contact with troops from all over the world, so I suppose they make a ration which will fit in. They can just hand them out to everybody. But those United Nations rations, they seem to have a lot of components made in China. I think if you stay away from the UN rations, Christine, I think the rest are still pretty much made either in the US or the UK. Okay. Talking about China, though, that brings me on to one thing. I want to start doing my ration reviews again, getting them out online. I've got a little box. I tend to record them in small batches. So I've got a small batch. I've got one. After this live stream, I'm going to upload one for this Sunday, one that I've already done. So I'm looking at Russell. I think it would be fantastic if someone could do a review of one of those UN rations. I'll have a look through my stock, Russell. I don't know if I've got any left. I've got a lot of the new brown bags. I think I've got a Hindu. I'll have a look. If I've got one of those UN rations left, I'll do a review over the next couple of weeks. I'll just write that down so I don't forget. But what I have got, somebody's already noticed a box of rations behind me. Oh, I've got a little box here of my next batch. I tried to do, while I've got my recording equipment out, I try to do little batches. It's easier for me. So my next batch, I've got the US beef goulash. There's two menus I've not tried in the US. One is the beef goulash, so I've got to try that. And I have got the new cheese pizza menu. But they're the only two that I've not reviewed. So I want to do the beef goulash soon. So I've got a beef goulash. I've also got another one of the new Latvian menus. I'm just looking down so I make sure I don't miss nothing. That's right, Russell. Yes, they do. They come with all the curry powders, chili powders, ketchups, hot sauces. They really are stuffed with the sundries. So coming back, I've got the new Latvian. I did one of these about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's the brand new Latvian variant. This is a new one I found. This is a Chinese, but it does say on the translation Special Forces. I've checked out 1 or 2 of these on YouTube, and other reviewers have said this is the Chinese Marine, as in for the Navy, but this translates to Special Forces ration. So I've got one of those, which is unusual from the normal brown bag Chinese. And I also have a kosher American New Orleans gumbo with chicken. So these are the next 4 I'm thinking of doing. If anyone's got any preference or which one you'd like me to do next, that would be helpful if you could just leave some comments. I will be doing them all over the next few weeks, but is there any that you'd particularly want to see first? Thank you, Teresa. Christine, Chinese Special Forces. I'm intrigued with that one. I've done a couple of Chinese before, but they're in the normal brown bag. I've never done one in the dark green. I've never found one. The Latvian will probably be interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my last one, Toten. One of my videos I did about 2 or 3 weeks back, I've managed to get 3 of the brand new Latvian rations. I did one then. That's another one. Chinese again. Okay, so a few of you are interested in the Chinese. So what number is on the Chinese one? It's menu 3. I don't know if you can see that. The Chinese one is menu 3. I do have another one of these, but it's the menu 3. I don't know what's in them. I've translated. It does say, but I don't know what their meals are, if that makes sense. It says the Chinese name for the meal. So until I open that, it's a bit of a surprise even for me. So Scott, the US 22. It looks interesting. The beef goulash, it does. I do like the US rations. They seem to have a lot of interesting components in them, but I'm wary of the huge amount of preservatives. No offense to any US viewers, but your government do put an awful lot of preservatives in their rations, and I don't know why, because no other country do, and they last just as long. Russell, you're looking for US MRE expire 2026. You're in luck. MRE Empire, they're ones people I use. They've just got new cases with expiry dates 25, 26. So that's in the UK. That's very rare to find them that fresh in the UK. They're obviously exporting direct from the manufacturers. They're not the cheapest though, as you can imagine. I think in the UK, they're currently around about £140 a case when they're that new. So, Mark, you've got 10 ORPs in the box form. I still think they were better, Mark. I don't like the new bag ones. I've got a couple of cases of the bagged ORPs. I don't think they're as good. So, Mark, anything new in the menus or sundries? Oh, Russell, was that just for the ORPs? The American. I think they've got a new pizza menu in the case A, but that was introduced a year or two back. But apart from that, no, it's the same old menus in the new stock. NJ Maxon, you got 20-year-old plus. I've got, and I don't know if you've seen some of my first videos. I did some 1974 American sea rations, or was it 78? Sort of end of Vietnam War period. I did that, and that was okay. The meat had gone a little bit green, but I do have some 91, I believe, 1991 US brown bags that's sitting around. They keep looking at me, but I'm wondering. At least the US ones were tinned, canned. I don't know about the 91 pouch or retort pouch ones, how good they hold up. I've seen people eat them, obviously, but I don't know if I want to risk it. Trace Phillips, cheese instead of pepperoni. That's right, Tracy, yes. I've got that to review. The number 22 goulash and the new cheese pizza slice. They're the only two US ones I haven't reviewed yet, so they're in line for it. Teresa Mountain House, freeze dried Freeze-dried lasts forever, don't they? It's like the MCWs. Yes. Careful about any old brown bags, definitely. So, Mark, you've ordered from MRE Empire. That's good. What's the shipping like? What do they charge for shipping all the way over to the US from the UK? Are they still reasonable? That's good. This and that. I've ordered from MRE, usually arrive 3 to 5 days. Yes. Again, I don't want. I hope you know by now. I never pull anyone's country down. But when I've ordered things from the US, your postal charges are extortionate. I can usually buy rations, US rations, cheaper in the UK than I can get them from the US, and that just seems crazy to me because they've already travelled halfway around the world, and I can still buy them cheaper here. $90 to send 2 US MREs to South Africa. That sounds about right, Tracy. I tried to get some US rations from your regular suppliers, and you know who they are, the big companies over in the US. And they was quoting me $69 to send 1 US ration to the UK. And yet I can send 2 kilos of weight to the US for £20. So that's about £22, $22, should I say? So yeah, US postal prices are extortionate. Tracy, $50 to Canada. I don't know. I don't know why, Tracy. I don't know. I don't know how postage works. How can I pay £22 or sorry, £20 in the UK and yet it will still get delivered to you, Tracy, day after tomorrow? Because when it gets to the US Postal Service take over, surely, and then they then deliver it. Are they delivering it for free? Is it an international agreement? Must be. Oh, John, Mr. Multi-Magnum, nice to see you. Don't worry, my friend. Nice that you joined me. Thank you very much for coming. We've just been admiring my mug again, John. And we've just decided that yourself and Mark are one of the few people to own one of these luxury items. Tracy, $2 item from China. That's right, Tracy. You can everywhere. We're the same here in the UK. We can buy something for £2, including shipping. The shipping does take a little bit longer. I must admit, it probably comes by ship instead of by air. But yes, we can buy things from China for less than £2 with shipping. So I don't know why it's $69 when I try just to ship one ration to the UK from the US. So I've currently got 14 in the house. Thank you all. Thank you all for still being here. Okay. Thank you, Christine. China is still considered a developing nation. I don't know how they work that out. I think they're becoming one of the richest nations since COVID. I think the whole world was buying masks and PPE from them. Right. So, got 27 views, 14 viewers still here. Thank you all very much for still being with me. Multitasking, making Sunday dinner. That's something I'm going to try. One of the things I'd like to ask, I'm trying to set a laptop up to work with my camera. So I'm considering doing a Sunday live review, if that's something people will be interested in to see, where I actually do the review live streaming. Is that worth me considering? Okay, that seems like a few people are in favour. Thank you. Okay, I might try that. Give me a couple of weeks to get my technology sorted. I don't think I'll be able to have my face on it because my camera's not set up that way, but I should be able to have the camera focused straight on the table. So I'll give that a go. Give me a couple of weeks and I'll do a Sunday live stream. So about the time I normally post a video, I'll try live streaming one. Live streaming the MRE review. Christine, yeah? I do actually like the US MREs. They have got a lot of flavour. Like I say, a lot of chemicals, but they do have a lot of flavour because of it, because of the chemicals, I'm sure. Sunday live stream sounds good. Okay, that looks like a plan then. Thank you for that. Live stream would be fun. Thank you, Teresa. I don't know if it would be fun for me, but we shall find out. I'm sure you'll all be kind. Christine, USMREs, but not as a regular food. That's right. I'll let you into a little secret. A couple of years ago, I went camping and I took just USMREs to live on. And should I say, after a few days of living solely on USMREs, I didn't come back as fit as I'd gone. So I don't know how the US troops do tours away with long spells on them. I'm sure it was the chemical content which had an effect. I'll leave it to your imagination, but yes, long-term use of USMREs is not an easy thing to get used to, I discovered. Thank you. This and that, you have to go. Thank you very much for joining. I much appreciate it. I'll be doing more. Now I know the live streams work, I shall definitely be doing more. And please look out for joining us on a live stream review on a Sunday. Oh, John, so you're having poor quality problems? I don't know if that's your side. Other people were telling me that it's coming through okay. John's saying he's getting poor quality on the stream now. Is everybody having a problem? Great quality. Oh, sorry, John. It says awesome. Stream is awesome. Misread it. I'm sorry, John. I thought you were saying that it wasn't coming through very well. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Right. So, no, sir. Okay. I would like to give everyone an update. I don't know if you're all aware, I'm sure you are, that a while back I stopped making videos altogether. And I did a video explaining that I had some health issues. Well, those health issues are still ongoing, and it's getting worse. I have unfortunately had to leave work. They're getting so bad they're affecting my work, so I can no longer do the job that I was doing. So I've taken a very early retirement on a massively reduced pension, and I mean massively reduced, in the hope that I can keep going a bit longer. Since doing that, I do feel a little bit better, and I'm hoping things will get a little bit better. So it does give me more time. The positive is going to give me more time to work on my channel. So hopefully you'll be seeing more reviews and more videos coming in the future. I'd also like to add more content. So rather than just focus on the reviews, ration reviews, I might just do a few more videos on general things I get up to. I think I mentioned it on one of my previous videos. So again, if any suggestions that you'd like to see on as a video, my camping trips have been reduced. I used to go a lot of hill walking and camping, but I can't actually do that anymore. I can't do the distances. I can't do the mountains. So they're going to disappear. But I do want any comments, anything you'd like to be see videos on, I shall take them on board. Thank you, Russell. Yes, I do intend to add more content. As I've just said, I'm going to put more videos out. So you will start seeing more videos back on the channel again. I'm just looking down. I'm just looking down, see who I can pick on, who's still chatting. Pick on in a nice way. Mark Swisher, you're still with me. I hope, Mark, you don't mind me putting you down as a moderator for future videos. I'm looking just for half a dozen that I can put as a moderator on my live streams. Obviously, I don't want to put on people who don't want it. If you really don't want to be a moderator on my channel, please let me know and I'll take you off. But you would be helping me, do me a favor. Thank you, Teresa. Local cuisine, even grocery stores. Certainly, that's something I can do. I'm not going to give up on the MREs. That's what started my channel. But I do want to diversify a little bit. Military equipment reviews. I do have some, Christine. Military equipment, not a lot, mainly cooking. I have quite a bit of their cooking equipment, pots, pans, stoves, cookers, that sort of thing. One or two from other countries as well. I have some German cooking utensils, and what's my other one? Yugoslavian. Thank you, John. I know my trusted group here. I think everybody here would actually watch whatever I put out, and I do appreciate that. Some freeze-dried camp food, Scott. Yes, I've got a few of those as well already floating about, which I brought for my camping trips. I still intend to do some camping, but less strenuous. I'm going to be more on commercial sites, I think, where I can drive to the camping spot and just chuck my tent out of the back of the car. The ones I used to enjoy, a pack on my back and going halfway up a hillside, I can't anymore. Review of the flameless ration heaters. Oh, NJ Naxton. Ration heaters, flameless ration heaters. Yes. I'm not a fan. Not at all. Some are exceptionally good, but they're extremely unreliable. So yes, I could do a review on some of the flameless ration heaters I've accumulated. Russell, Leicester is famous for its local cuisine. It is. It is. I don't know if you're aware, Leicester has been declared the first city in the UK where British white citizens are the minority. So the result of that is we do have a lot of international cuisine. Leicester, you can get food from every country around the world virtually, and takeaways and the like. Also good info for future camping. Military cooking stuff's also cool. Thank you, Christine. I am taking notes on these. I've got a little pen and paper here, so I am actually taking note. We're more ethnic than London. Certainly are, Christine. Yes. I mean, this was about 9 or 10 years ago. We became the first city in the UK where traditional British citizens are the minority group in the city. And it's a big city. Leicester is a big city. It's not a small one. Not as big as London, obviously, but it is a pretty big city where that can be declared. But like I say, that does have its advantages. I've got restaurants and takeaways for every country around the world virtually within, I would say, 5 miles. Within 5 miles of where I live, I could get cuisine from all around the world cooked, ready made for me. Okay. I'm just writing some of your suggestions down. I'm not being ignorant. Please don't think I am. It seems to have got a little bit darker. I think I need to try brightening. Okay. Try brightening the light. It is giving me a good run. The new equipment I've got, this is giving me a good run to try it, see how it works. Right next to Solihull. So I can get any Asian food I want, pretty much. Turkish, Polish, Egyptian, Japanese, Korean. Yes, Christine, yes. We're the same. Atomic Shrimp in the UK has an electric assortment of food items. Mark, Atomic Shrimp in the UK. Is that a store? Is that a shop? Sorry, Christine. Southall, not Solihull. Of course, Solihull's in Birmingham, isn't it? Oh, I've just seen Christine. You said you won't mind moderating. Thank you. I'll put you as a moderator as well. Thank you for the volunteer. Thank you for that, Christine. I missed your original message. I'm sorry. But I've now made you a moderator. So any future live streams. Must bow out now. 1:30 a.m. Thank you, Sharon the Ferryman. Thank you for joining me and stopping up till 1:30 in the morning. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Okay, so Christine, Southall is London's version of Aston. I know Aston. One of my daughters moved to Aston University while she did her degrees. She went to the Aston Uni there. A very busy place. I don't know if you've ever been. It's very busy, especially if you're driving. I should imagine it's very similar to London. Birmingham is what they call the second city, isn't it? Yeah, sounds very similar. It does. Okay, so open question time. Is there anything anyone would like to ask, would like to know? I keep losing. Who's here? Okay, I've noticed I've had 12 likes on the live stream. Thank you very much. It does really help. I'm struggling at the moment getting YouTube to put out my videos and recommend me. I've noticed my views and things are going down. So if you do like my live stream, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a like. Obviously, that's up to you, but it does help. I think, thank you very much. There's 2 more just gone straight on. Thank you for that. It does help then, I think, YouTube promote 16. It's growing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. MFOs, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. You having a good Sunday? Okay. So it's 18:30 here, so a good time to watch. Where is that? So MFOs, am I saying that correctly? Whereabouts are you based? Where is it 18:30 right now? Finland. Thank you. I didn't know. Teresa. Okay, thank you for joining me. Much appreciate it. Thank you for coming. So have a good evening. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next live. Have a Lancashire accent. He's from South Helens. Are you from Lancashire? No. Christine, I'm a Leicester born and bred. I have lived within about a 3-mile area all my life, from being born to where I am now. So no, it is a Leicester accent. I'm surprised because, as you know, up north, Lancashire is up north. You just won the argument. Okay. Did you not know I was from Leicester then, Christine? Okay, Mark, thank you. I'm not sure myself what the moderator's role. I think as a moderator, it's just if you noticed anyone is being negative on the comments or swearing or, you know, generally being unpleasant, you can actually remove their chat. I think you just click on the left of the name and you can sort of remove their chat or suspend them even. It's just a second security for me. I can't possibly read everybody's comments, so thank you. Christine, I did, but he was insistent. Okay, a little bit of inside information is always useful, Christine, especially when you're in an argument. Okay. So I think going by the comments I've had, the Chinese. Oh, I need to be careful. I've also pulled my shoulder as well. Old age creeps up. Looking back down my comments, I think the new Chinese menu seems to get the most votes for my next review. So after this live stream, I'm going to post a video I've already done. I've done one, and I'll put it out straight after this live stream. So please look out for that. But then the next one I'll do, I think you've all, well, you're not all agreed, but the majority have said the Chinese would be the next one. I am going to do all of those I've shown you earlier over the next few weeks. So if it's not your preferred choice, you won't have to wait long. Tracy helps keep the trolls out should they get in the trot. That's it, Tracy. Well, yeah, that's put better than I did. Yeah, Chinese first. Thank you. Banning the trolls. Yeah, that's it. That's the moderator. And apparently, this is all new to me as well, guys. So I'm sort of playing this by ear. Apparently, once a moderator for my channel will always be. So if you join me on any future live streams, you'll automatically be a moderator for me. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's just like you say, making sure trolls and the people that ruin channels really don't get on here and start ruining our chats. You're my police force, for want of a better word. Thank you, John. Okay, take care, my friend. Have a good evening or good day. It's not quite evening where you are, but have a good day. Have a good Sunday. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I think I have one of those Chinese menu one. So MFOS. I was saying earlier, I don't think you was here at the time. I've actually translated. It does say Special Forces. This says Special Forces. But I've seen other videos where people have reviewed this green one and said that they are for the Marine, the Navy. But I don't know. I'm just going to put it as Special Forces. Do you agree? If you've got one of these, have you any idea? Is it Special Forces like the name suggests? I think I've also got a menu one as well. I brought two at the time. No idea. No, I haven't either. It is strange. There's a lot of rations around. But I just have to go on the translation sometimes. If it says special forces, when I translate, I just have to go with that. I don't try to sort of mislead people, but sometimes you just don't know. I think the Russian rations are the worst, deciphering which are genuine military and which are civilian copies. The Russian rations, before the current conflicts, should we say, I don't seem to be able to get many Russian rations at the moment. I think they're keeping them for themselves. But they did put an awful lot of commercial copycats pretending to be military. $180 unopened MREs, MFSO. So is that US or generic, different countries? David, do you think military MREs are? I do, David. Definitely. They're a long life. They usually have about a 3 to 4 year shelf life, but you can, if you store them well, I've eaten them well past 10 years. You can normally, it's a storage. If you store them well, you can get 10 years out of them. So David's question, do you think they're good for a 72-hour disaster? Definitely. They do, Tracy. The Chinese FRHs are like rockets. I think it's the best. I must admit, they do really work. I heard somewhere a long time ago that reheating rice, if it doesn't get scalding hot, it can actually be quite poisonous. It can cause some stomach bugs. So I think the Chinese make sure their rice gets heated very high temperatures. Oh, Mark, Atomic Shrimp is a YouTube channel. Thank you. I wasn't sure. I've not heard of that one. And MFS, you got them from around the world? I have too. I've got far too many. I don't know now. I've got 2 cases of British ORPs, 2 cases of US MREs. I think I've got a case of Lithuanian. They're all within date. But unfortunately, all of those I've already reviewed, apart from the British ORPs. So they're just there for me to eat generally. Croatian as well. I've not seen many of those about, to be honest, just lately, not on the UK. I have got one Croatian in storage, but it must be getting close to its best before date now. Christine, I think the Chinese put 2 heat pads in each one, and they're good ones as well. So where most countries just have 1 heat pad, the Chinese rations tend to have 2. But I suppose they're also cheaper. I'm sure everyone's aware things made in China seems to be a lot cheaper than anywhere else. Finnish MFOS, get a Finnish MRE. I don't think I've had one of those myself. Yeah, those are rare, even where you live. I think they would be, because I think my channel's a few years old now, and I've not come across one. I think I came across one once, but it was just too expensive for me to buy it at the time. That's the problem as well, the expense, isn't it? It's okay if you can get them in your own country, but if not, if you have to have them imported, they can be really expensive. David, the costs the last 5 years, I must say no, David. I don't think in the UK British rations have actually increased by much. American MREs are extremely expensive. You'd be around about £150 per case. So for 2 cases, sometimes we've got a discount and there'll be like £260 for 2 cases, but usually they're around the £300. So the British, no, I think it's the country you're in, David. The US ones I've definitely rocketed, but the UK ones I've not noticed. They're still about the same sort of price they've always been. First strike rations left. Got those cheap. Christine, are they US first strike? I've got 3 US first strike. To be honest, I'm not a fan of them. So I've not reviewed them. Yeah. First strike. Do you like them? Have you tried them? It's all the sandwiches. I'm not a fan of the first strike sandwiches. Not so greasy, yeah. Not so great. Okay, thank you, Mark. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate it. You can't upset the wife, especially if the lawn needs cutting. I know exactly what you mean, my friend. Have a good Sunday. Thank you for joining me. Some of the snacks are okay, but I wouldn't buy in Fair Strike again. So I'm just reading down the comments there. Now, I have got to review some, Christine. I've bought some for review, so I will be doing them. But I agree, I wouldn't buy them just to eat personally. Did I answer your question okay, David, about the cost of MREs in the UK? Okay, thank you, Tracy, as well. Have a great Sunday. Thank you for joining me, my friend. Thank you for supporting me. I think I'm going to wrap this up soon anyway. I'm going to give it probably another 5 minutes and then I think I'll wrap the live stream up. I'm really, really pleased how it's gone. Thank you all. David, the spicing for the kit. When I was in military service, it was a few years ago. It was late 80s, early 90s. Most of it was still in tins. We could carry a few powdered sachets, salt and pepper, really. That was probably about it. But to be honest, back then, most things had that much salt and pepper in anyway. It wasn't really needed. We had things like bacon grill, beans and burgers. A lot of it was baked beans based, and very salty. So not like you can do now. You can get it full spices kit, but they've taken it out now. I think the British rations are worse for taste now because they've removed all that salt and seasoning. NJ Maxton, dinner made, all in stew. Sounds excellent, my friend. I'm having the same. I've got a little allotment, and today, apart from the meat, all of the vegetables I've grown myself. So that's really nice. I know where they've come from and how fresh they are. So enjoy. What regiment? Royal Anglian. So the Royal Anglian Regiment. And then in the reserves also, the same regiment, but I was in the 7th Battalion as a reserve. So in those ORP packages, they could at least change the chocolate. It's not very good. I think you must be referring to the United Nations ones. The United Nations, yes, they do have some really poor chocolate. They used to have Yorkie bars years ago. They were much better. Good regiment for an English regiment. Thank you, NJ Maxton. Yes. Infantry. Foot sloggers. We walk where others drive. One of those regiments. So, the newish chocolate brownie in, I think, menu 1 is pretty nice. Christine, yes, there is still a few. For some unknown reason, my camera seems to have dropped its lighting stream. I don't know why. That seems very odd. I seem to have gone dark. Paul Webb. The Yorkie Bears were Paul. I don't know if you ever served or whether you had them. It wasn't the same as the commercial. I think they made it non-melt somehow, because it used to say not for civvies on it. I think it had a different consistency. Paul Webb, the Yorkie Bears, they were. I don't know if any of you know, but back in the late 80s, early 90s, they used to have Rolos in at one time. I used to enjoy them when they was issued. That's the one. Not for civvies. I think there was more to it than just the facts. As I said, Royal Engineers, Paul. Another great regiment. Where would we have been without you guys? Spangles. Wow, that is going back a while. Yes. Oh dear, my wife heard the Spangles. She just chirped in from the other. I like Spangles. Yes, they used to be in the rations when long time ago, with PK gums as well. Little pack of PK. I never liked the apple flakes though. And as for the cereal start, hot cereal start. Dub C, hello. Thanks for joining us, Dub. Nice of you to join us. Thank you for joining me. David, I know during joint NATO exercises, troops exchange rations. When you're in service, did one country have a reputation for the best? Oh, David, I think back then we thought the American rations were probably a good one, the US, because I think they was one of the first to actually use the retort pouches. We were still using tinned stuff, and it was all new. I don't think the taste was any better. I think it was just that novelty of a retort pouch. The Finnish rations are mainly commercial garbage. The first ones I ate back in the 80s are much better. I think I agree. I think the older rations, they might not have been as healthy, but I think generally they tasted better. More sugar, more salt in them, the sort of things that they've taken out nowadays in the name of health. But with that goes a lot of the flavour. Chock-a-block, Russell, in the UN rations is not legally chocolate. That's right. I think in the UK, I'm not sure, but I think they have to have a minimum of 20% cocoa, don't they, to be classed as chocolate? Otherwise, they have to be chocolate flavoured. And I think that, yeah, Chock-a-block is chocolate flavoured, so I don't think there's hardly any cocoa in it. I certainly don't like them anyway, those Chock-a-blocks. Delicious. Thank you for joining me. I much appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. The French RCIRs. That's a bit hit and miss, Paul. I think some of the mains are really good, but their sundries never change, do they? I don't know if you've noticed. You get the same. Well, a lot of rations repeat, but I think the French RCIRs are pretty bad. If that makes sense, you get some nice mains in the tins, but everything else just repeats over and over and over. But their mains are pretty good, I think, the French. Thank you also, NJ Maxton. Thank you for joining me. I much appreciate it. Hope to see you all on my next one. I don't know what's happened to my camera, but I seem to be getting darker. So David, how much is morale affected by the ration? Massively, David. If you're cold, you're wet, you're freezing. You know, you've probably not had dry clothes on for 2 or 3 days. To then get a really poor ration is morale destroying. They need to be good. And I think if you've seen some of my older videos, if I do get a bad one, I do sort of say this is disgusting. Some nations' ideas of what they need to feed their fighting troops is truly shocking. A good meal is certainly appreciated. When you're at your lowest, you need a good meal. And I don't think that's sufficiently appreciated how important it is. Christine, US MREs nailed crackers. They are probably the best. I think you're probably right there, Christine. They're probably some of the longest serving crackers. I think the ones that have nailed the bread, though, are Canadians. That Canadian bread, the pain they call it. Russell, I agree. Surprised you're going for another US kosher. That's because I have them in stock, and I do always think it's fair to give them another go. You must have remembered my last kosher experience. I questioned why is the need for one country to make good rations for the mainstream, and then just because they're a different religion, their kosher ration is nowhere near as good. They are, Paul, the lowest bidder. They want them as cheap as they can get them, obviously, which you can understand. They have to produce literally millions and millions of them, so price is bound to be a consideration. Canadian pain is great. Doesn't seem to be too dirty. It does. Yes, Christine. I think they've nailed the bread. That's one thing that the British rations have always done badly, I think. Any sort of shelf stable bread, and the crackers are awful. I never liked the biscuits brown. Biscuits Brown were there for a purpose. They contain a lot of fibre, so their purpose is, well, you can imagine what it's for. But that doesn't make, in my book, some people loved them, and so we used to use them as currency. I always like the biscuits fruit, but the Biscuits Brown, no. They're too sweet for me. Biscuits Brown are too sweet. They seem like they should be a savoury cracker, but they're sweet. I think about going back to the Biscuits Brown. When I first started having rations at home, I accumulated a stock of about 30 packets of Biscuits Brown, and I sold them on eBay for a ridiculous price. Some ex-squaddy used to love them and couldn't get them anymore. I made a small killing on selling these horrible Biscuits Brown, so some people loved them. In the field kitchen, was there a big difference between MREs and the... When I was serving, David, yes, there was. The field kitchens were damned good. I can only talk about British Army. I don't know about other armies back then, but the field kitchens, you got most of the time like a full cooked 3-course meal, pretty much like what you'd get back at barracks, back at base. The field kitchens were fantastic. Russell, thank you. Thank you for joining me. I hope the weather lets you get out into the garden. I think, no, it's not going to happen to me here in Leicester. It looks bright in the background, but there's rain clouds. So have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for joining. I'm going to let it run till 1.5 hours, and then I'm going to close the stream. I want to thank you all for joining me. It's gone really, really well. The catering corps worked miracles. What they hadn't, Paul, they certainly did. They're underappreciated. I think they're one of the military regiments and corps that are underappreciated. The catering corps. 3-course meals and such a morale boost when you come in caked in mud and God knows what. You've not had a meal for days. You've been living on rations. To come into a field kitchen and get fed properly. The catering corps deserve medals. Oh, Christine, the squid. Yes. I've never quite got used to the Spanish. Funny enough, Christine, there's a bit of a hint there. When we're finished here in a few minutes, I'm going to post my next ration. I'm going to give the game away. It's a Spanish one. That's all I'm saying, Christine. But there isn't any squid in it. There's no squid in that one. Sorry, Paul. Is that the catering or is butter the jokes? I don't think always, but yes, often. Okay. So thank you, David. Thank you for joining me. It's come up to, I've been on for 1.5 hours. I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to do more live streams. I hope you'll be willing to join me again. I'm just quickly reading down. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. David, Russell, I'm just making sure I've not missed anything. Really enjoy going live. Thank you. I think I caught most. Questions. If I did miss anybody, I apologise. Hopefully, I'll catch it next time. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all for joining me. Have a good Sunday, and I hopefully see you all on the next chat live stream. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to post my next video. So please look out for my video. I'm going to set it to public now when I leave, so it will be straight on. Please enjoy. I've given the game away. It is a Spanish Russian. I wasn't going to do it, but okay. So thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. And please look out for my Spanish Russian review coming on straight after this. See you all next time. Thank you very much.